Tuesday, February 17th, 4:15 p.m. New York time. Welcome back, investors, to Win Wall Street's Money. Going to discuss stock indexes, dollar cost average trading, investing, several different stock indexes. My current situation for investing, how I define investing, is two parts. Buying and holding positions for longer duration, typically longer than a year. Used to be years ago, it'd be 10 years people refer to. Investing anything above 10 years. Well, that might be for real estate, but not for these financial assets that are in the financial exchanges. My opinion, no. That being said, stock indexes, the ones I'm going to show you, you could trade them in the futures markets, the options market, the equity market, aka stock market, and they have stock ETFs, stock indexes on them. You could buy. Me, I'm outperforming the stock indexes, the ones I'm going to show you, because I invested in the leadership of the stock sectors. That's another video I posted many times in the past, how you could try to outperform the stock indexes, have the edge by investing in the underlining strongest sectors in the indexes. That's enough spoken about that. We'll focus here now on these stock indexes. We're going to look at multiple time frames. Far right would be the 5-year monthly, already halfway through the current month. The middle chart would be the weekly. Yeah, short trading week. Monday, U.S. stock market was closed for federal holiday. And tomorrow will be Wednesday, middle of the week. Dollar cost average investing. Some people have once or twice a month automatic income withdrawn out of their payroll going into investments. Might be a 401k, might be an IRA, might be other ones that have different names, but they're making contributions. That's good. On top of that, I'd always recommend, if you have side hustle income or just gifted money, pay yourself first. Take at least 30% of that and put that into the market. If you're mowing lawns, shoveling driveways, or many other things, just to give you examples, put a good percentage, 30% of that income first before you spend anything of that into the markets. So that could be randomly anytime in the markets. You don't have to wait for that payroll withdrawal. Yeah, dollar cost average. So the situation here currently on the S&P 500, this is the SPX. Yep, the stock index. If you want to trade the stock symbol on this, then it's SPY. But this is the big board one, the one you see quoted when the markets open and close. This is the one that's referred to. S&P 500. 500 companies. Yeah. So current situation is, again, on the monthly, lower high, lower low. The trend reversed. It's not done until the end of the month. But already broke the low of last month. And again, the current trend reversed, trending down. The weekly chart. Yeah, today's the first full trading day this week for the stock market. For this weekly candle, we already broke the low of last week. Yeah, new low for the year. See right here is yellow horizontal line. We tested midpoint of that big red candle and rejected it. Going here on the daily chart. Look at that. Lower high, lower low. Again, lower high from Friday and today, lower low from Friday. Again, Monday was closed. What's interesting here is big body overlapping that other body, closing above that body. Yep, so we might have a potential reversal here. But the concern is We made a lower low. The momentum's still down. Buyers have been down here on the dip. They might be day trading, swing trading. Big imbalance area here. We haven't gone back in there. So again, leaning more bearish bias, meaning that retest up here might have more bears enter the market. Might have more panic selling. Again, look at that big red candle. So that's the S&P 500. The major stock index financial institutions compare their performance with. And we're below the highs of the year. Let's go on to the next financial asset. NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ 100. Technology. Most investors and financial institutions that manage other people's are heavily weighted in several companies on the NASDAQ 100. The ones that are taking a big smackdown. Yeah, that's not healthy. Again, the monthly chart, lower high, lower low. Look at the middle chart, weekly. We broke below the inside candle. That's a strong signal. Downside. And the daily chart, again, same thing. New low for the year. We'll go on to the next index. I have a full video on the Dow Jones Industrial Average and every company in it, showing the chart. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, big difference for the month. The trend is up, higher high, higher low. It has only 30 companies in it. For the current week, inside candle so far, forming a dodgy candle. Last week was that high of the year. And the daily chart, look at that. Inside candle too, dodgy candle, very suspicious here. Gap down here has not been filled yet. Onto the next index, the Dow Jones Transports. 20 companies in this index, all-time new high. For the monthly, higher high, higher low. Weekly chart, inside candle. And daily chart, we broke above the inside candle. Can you believe it? Transportation's outperforming the NASDAQ 100, outperforming the S&P 500. Amazing. That's not healthy. You want to see the NASDAQ 100 technology. That's how bad things are. People going to defensive companies. Been going to defensive companies. On to the next. The utilities, the Dow Utilities, 15 companies, big utility companies. Monthly, all-time high for the year. Broke the high of last year. Look at this candle, higher high, higher low. High-paying dividend stocks. Wow. Again, when companies, institutions, individuals buy stocks with dividends, they're typically going for defensive, not for growth. This is income stocks. Very concerning. For the week, yeah, like I said, we took out the high of this year and last year. Big move up here. And the daily chart, all-time new high right here. Outstanding. So let's remove the high of last year that we took out and adjust this. All these indexes I just showed you are inside the S&P 500. That's very diversified, the S&P 500. Outstanding. On to the next stock index. The RUT, the Russell 2000, 2,000 companies, smaller value companies. This index is not part of the S&P 500. For the month, inside candle. Week, inside candle. And a daily chart, 2 days in a row, inside candles. Not looking healthy. Very concerning. Again, I'm not investing in these indexes currently. I am just swing trading and day trading certain ones periodically. give you some insight. My recent trade, which was last week, was bearish. It was a short term. Yep. Nice. It was part of a big move down. So we'll see if we get a retracement of that. But what we're looking here right now is the futures markets, the key indexes in the futures markets on the daily chart. Show you some more insight. Finishes off by looking at intraday time frame on the equity index futures. So here we are on the 1 hour. Again, the market's been closed for 26 minutes. And the current candle is inside candle after selling off the highs. Thank you as always. Spending just a little bit of time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching.